right, I'd like to call the Rockland Fire Protection District Board of Trustees regular meeting on Monday, February 10th, 2020 at 6 p.m. to order. In attendance we have myself, Trustee Malinowski, Trustee Bernstein, Trustee Anderson, both Chief Siebert and Kamani. Sorry, it took me a second. Carl Summer, Treasurer, Jim Wargo, Attorney, and Joni.
What?
What's your last name again? You don't have to say it. It's okay.
Garrett.
Thank you. All right, everyone's accounted for. I'd like to ask everyone to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. So this time I actually did have a moment to review the minutes. So I'm good with them as presented. So am I. All right, so I'd like to make a motion to approve the Rockland Fire Protection District Board Trustees minutes for January 13th, 2020.
No.
And just voice vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? On to Chief's report.
All right, slow month in January, only 6 calls for Lake Forest. I think actually one of them was in 46K, so all ambulance calls. No, nothing out of the ordinary to report back. Things are running pretty smoothly.
Pretty much the same for us. We had 6 calls on ours also, so nothing out of the ordinary or crazy to report. I did, Chief Siebert and I did get an opportunity to go to Lake Bluff a couple weeks ago and meet with Mike Rummel in the county regarding some of the address changes. And I don't know if you're familiar with the one stretch that I believe was Foster, and there's one
815 down on the even side of the road.
Side, and it throws the whole thing off. There's no space in between to change it to need a number. And the way the 911 system works, you can't have them out of order. It'll create problems. So whole kind of bunch of options back and forth. They kind of came up with, the county came up with a solution, but it would have involved changing about 7 addresses. So people were pretty vocal. So after the meeting, we we listened and kind of went back to the drawing board, and pending U.S. Postal Service approval, it looks like they'll go with either A and B or something to that designation. So only one person will have to change their address versus all 6 or 7. So I think that was what everybody was hopeful for, and the people who had to change their address were more than willing to do that. They just didn't want everybody else affected if they didn't have to.
That wasn't too bad.
Yeah, so I think with respect to the rest of the addresses, I haven't heard anything in the rest of the Knollwood area, so it seems like it's all going as planned. Once they get approval from the U.S. Postal Service, then we'll see that wholesale change over to the one address. So.
Perfect. And do you recall about how many homes are affected within the
It's still
Rockland
like
district?
around 20 to 25.
20 to 25.
Total.
Okay. Yeah. So not terrible.
No.
All right. Very good.
Is that still to come?
Yes.
25, okay.
Yeah, well, they've all been notified, so that,
Now pretty much falls in their court on going through the process.
Right.
Right. Very good. I don't think I have any questions or anything. Dave?
Nope.
Daniel? All right. Thank you, Chiefs. Agenda 5, item 5, public comment. The district trustees allocate time for those individuals who would like the opportunity to address the fire district trustees on any matter not listed on the agenda. Each person addressing the trustees is asked to limit their comments to a maximum of 3 minutes. Anybody have public comment?
No.
Okay.
I'm an observer.
All right. Moving on to 6. What do you got for us, Jim?
The only thing I have to report is last meeting we discussed the possibility of leasing the fire station.
Mm-hmm.
And we also discussed a possible previous resolution that was passed regarding the lease of the property. I did find a resolution on our system. I don't know if it was ever voted on or passed. It's not signed by anybody, but it was to list it with a particular broker
Okay.
to lease it. So it was not a lease agreement per se, but it was just a resolution to approve listing with a particular agent.
Okay.
I thought I grabbed it and put it in my folder, but I think I left it on my desk. But I do not know whether that was passed or.
I believe
I'm pretty sure it was.
from what I remember in attending the meetings, I believe it was.
The
Because there would have
resolution
been a listing agreement that was attached to the resolution, so I'm assuming that period's expired, because it was 2018.
Yeah, the lease agreement, I'm sorry, the
listing agreement.
listing agreement has expired, I believe, September of 19. If I remember correctly, I did find that, so that is expired, okay.
Now, there's certainly statutory authority for us to lease the building, and there's not too many restrictions on it, as long as we're not using it for fire department purposes, at least for the period of the leasehold, we can go ahead and lease the agreement. Now, we don't necessarily have to enter into a listing agreement with broker. Perhaps if we had an interested party, we could negotiate that.
So is that something the board could do, without having to go through a broker?
Yeah, there's no requirement to go through,
Okay.
through a broker. Now, we could also, which is fairly common, to lease the property to another governmental, and that's probably more common than
This is like a private or other commercial
not,
entity?
not that we can't do the commercial entity, but just keep in mind, obviously, there's tax implications on that, so we want to make sure that the lessee was responsible for paying the taxes that would be generated because of the leasehold. I'm assuming if it was a private entity, we don't have that issue with another governmental entity.
Sure, okay. All right, so I guess we're just kind of, if the other trustees don't mind, I guess we can just jump to this, agenda 9 really quick, so we can, since we already touched on it.
Fine.
Do we have to make a motion for that, or can we just kind of jump to 9 and go back? All right. So with that being said, Jim, what would be the appropriate way for any interested parties to contact the board or to solicit, or rather submit, lease terms, or that they're interested in it? How would that process work without a broker? Or does it get kind of muddled and is going through a broker the preferred way?
Well, a broker could be advantageous in certain situations, particularly if you are seeking somebody out. Probably a broker would be the way to go. Otherwise, if you have a party that approaches you, that's something we could negotiate.
Okay.
A lease.
Okay, because I did have an email back, it was probably 3 months ago, that someone emailed me, I don't think they copied the other trustees, regarding, I don't remember if it was purchase or lease, but regarding interest in space at a minimum. I do still have that in an email. I think I reported to the board at that time that I received said solicitation. I don't know if there are any other parties or anything. I haven't had any other contact from anybody else.
At this point, we'd have to let them know that there is an end date, but we do not know it.
Yeah, so that kind of goes into the, agenda
Right.
item 10. I did have a conference call with, and I forgot my notes, it was Sheila Durka and Mike, give me 1 second here, I'll look it up in my email. Sheila Durka of IDOT and Mike Cullion of IDOT. Sheila is the Chief of Negotiations, Bureau of Land Acquisition, and Mike's title is Relocation Property Management Section Chief. We did have a conference call with them last week. They are a little bit behind schedule, excuse me, a little bit behind schedule as far as getting the plat and the survey complete completed. They mentioned once they have the surveyors selected, or once the surveyors have time, they will reach out to someone of the board to make arrangements to obviously, inspect and survey the property, as well as an appraiser to come out and inspect the building. Again, I apologize if I'm going off of memory, I forgot my notes. They were hoping to have that done by the end of February, but again, they're behind schedule. It may not be next month, it could take longer. And they also mentioned, as far as use of the building, up until pretty much IDOT's coming in and breaking ground, it's the board's decision what the building is used for. So there's nothing preventing us from using the building for the board sees fit, or leasing, or anything like that, or selling. They pretty much said it's still your building, it's not IDOT's yet. And that could take the full 3-year letting period. So there's no immediate concern with leasing, renting, selling, using the building.
No immediate concern on IDOTs. And
Correct. Correct.
because they could make an offer. Let me back up.
Sure.
Did they indicate to you if they made an offer that they would like to, they made an offer to purchase?
Mm-hmm.
How quickly would that happen?
Okay.
After they get the survey, we're talking maybe a couple months.
So, I had this written down. Once an offer is made, and that did not seem like it's anytime immediately after a survey, or immediately after the plat's been inspected. But once an offer is made, there's still a length of time before they break ground and need the building pretty much vacated. So there's still a length of time after the offer, because there's offer, is typically negotiation, and once it's accepted, after that point, there's still a length of time up until when they actually take, I forget what the term they use, but pretty much possession. Yeah, pretty much possession of the building.
And I just bring it up from the standpoint, they would be attempting to obtain a number of properties.
Yes, and that's why I said there's a number of properties involved. It's not just ours. So even at the best case scenario, it sounded like 3 years is still going to be the earliest.
Okay. Again, what I'm trying to get at is that if they've got a number of properties that they're trying to purchase, they're going to have a timeline on when they want people out of the properties. In other words, I'd be surprised if they made an offer to purchase, let's say, $500,000, just throw that number out. We accepted it. I would assume that they want to finish up that agreement for the purchase in a relatively quick manner, rather than, if they offer to purchase and then perhaps there's an agreement that we can stay in the building for, until ground is broken on the project. There's a number of different ways that we can do it.
Yeah, they mentioned that time period is still flexible typically, and I don't remember from when the clock starts. I don't think it was from when an offer is accepted. They have a get out date, and then it's typically a 30-day window. But it's not that clock. From what I remember the conversation, that clock doesn't necessarily start when the offer is made or when the offer is accepted. There's still a little bit of time after that.
Okay.
So we kind of laughed about it, but it is a lengthy process out there, and so it's not going to be anything in the next year. They have the budget for it. I believe that's what was appropriated based on material that I published. Was that appropriate for this year to have those funds? But from the sound of the conversation, it did not indicate that by the end of this year we have to vacate.
Okay. It's not just a few moving parts, so it's
A lot of moving parts. Yeah.
So it's something to keep in mind of the whole board on how we percent. Because you bring up that appropriations. I think that's extremely important. If they've got the money in 1 year,
so I can, update either at another meeting once I bring my notes, but that's the general gist of it, I'll say, is that there's no immediate urgency, no immediate concern, but, 3 years is still the number that they're kind of sticking with.
Okay.
So going back to, so that's item 10 pretty much. Going back to 9, I was trying to think what the cleanest way is, because I don't think it would be appropriate for any board member to be going out, hey, you want to lease a building, you want some space, so maybe a broker is the cleanest option. I don't want to say best, maybe the cleanest option as far as
Well, they
follow
have
the
access to
process.
more advertising and, contacting
Yeah.
interested parties. You can pay your commission, but it's still, you're getting something. It's still
Yeah.
enough.
Is that something you'd like to explore and maybe come back to the next meeting?
Look for a commercial,
broker,
yeah.
or a couple options or something. Do you think you have time for that?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'll leave that to Trustee Anderson. And then I'll see if
I thought
there's.
you volunteered.
What's that?
I thought
Me?
you volunteered.
I didn't volunteer. Sound like they just volunteered.
Yeah, we can, Dave can get some agreements and maybe get some ideas on what the rental rates are.
And maybe a question to ask is, if someone doesn't want the whole building, if they want portions of the building, if they want a partition or something like that, that's an option, or how that works.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone's gonna want. How many square feet do we ever draw? A lot.
And I think we'd like to continue to use the building.
Yes, that would have to, we're going to go into resolution or lease agreement or whatever it is, at a minimum, use this meeting room. And of course, our office upstairs where we still have the files.
Yeah, maybe when county tax, thing, you get the actual square footage off that.
So yeah, I think it'd be,
Because last time I looked on the county, said there's zero issue on this building because it's government.
Oh, okay.
It's just not.
you might be able to find the old listing or something.
Right,
The old
it should be the
appraisal. Yeah, should have, the square footage on the appraisal should at least be somewhat correct.
Well,
Close
age of the
enough.
building wasn't even,
Yeah.
was off by 30 years.
So in conversations with them, I'd
Alright.
maybe suggest to let the brokers know, I mean, I don't know if you want to look for a few, present to the board, probably we can vote on who we want to go with, what their terms are, et cetera, et cetera. At least let them know, I think we'd be open to, what would the correct term be, partial leasing?
Partial or full
Or
leasing,
full, yeah.
but still allowing us access to partial.
Yes.
Of course. So depending how difficult that would be, if someone says, they want, let me get 100 square feet.
Yeah.
Not so much. Okay. What else regarding that? So you'll look for a broker, a couple brokers, update us next meeting, or if you got something sooner, we could probably have a special meeting. If there's a broker that thinks they may have someone, they wanna move quicker on it, then
Right,
just,
right.
send a message to the board, we can do a special meeting if need be.
And I'm assuming we don't know of any other government that may be
I can-
interested.
I could look into that, I could, see who else is in the area, I mean, not necessarily just, fire department, but other municipalities, or anyone else who may need storage or for training, I don't know. Yeah, in their own, alright, so you'll go the commercial route, I'll go the government route.
One thing that could be problematic with subdividing, particularly if you had more than one subdividing, yes, more than one lease, is utilities.
Yep.
Access is one thing, but utilities is another thing, because it's not set up to, it's not metered
Yeah.
that way, and the circuit's not set up that way.
So that would be something depending on how many interested parties there are, how many, subdivisions there are to handle that, but I think we can try to figure that out as, if it becomes an issue.
Yeah, it's.
Okay. Alright, so I think that's all I have for 9. Discussion action, leasing the building. Any questions, comments, Amy? Anything else, Dave?
Nope.
Alright, back to 7. Or, were you done, Jim? Is that all you got? Nothing else?
Nothing else.
Nothing else we need to know about Springfield?
Not much going on,
Alright, thank you.
thankfully.
I guess. Alright, Carl,
Right.
now we'll go to you.
Okay, for the balance sheet with our assets for the end of January, the checking account is $394,145.06. The reserves are $311,000, $311,067.79, and then the petty cash is $112.56, giving a total assets of $705,325.41. As far as the budget, at this point, we've pretty much received 100% of our revenue. We've paid 100% of our single biggest expense, the contract. We've paid all of our insurance and those sorts of things. Obviously, the building mortgage goes month by month, so it's right on track. So, pretty much everything is, about where it needs to be. I don't see, we should come in, a little under budget, which is what we expected. I think right now, we're running, total expenses is at 89.7% of what we budgeted for the entire year. But like I said, insurance and the contract are completely paid, so at this point, it's, the mortgage and utilities and stuff, and those have been tracking month by month, so we should be in very good shape on that. So that is the treasurer's report.
I'll make a motion to accept treasurer's report as read.
I will second. And then, roll call vote. Trustee Anderson?
Yes.
Trustee Malinowski, yes. Trustee Bernstein?
Yes.
Alright.
Okay, on the outstanding invoices, the checks, as I said, the City of Lake Forest, we have $112,500. The mortgage, $7,500. Comcast phone and internet, $184.46. Gas, $174.36. Electric, $663.51. Northern Electric for fixing the wiring on the siren was $211.46. And then I have some bids for the legal, $750. For a total of $121,683.79.
With the Comcast, you said it's for phone and internet.
Yes.
Would it be advantageous to get rid of the phone line, or is it needed for any kind of alarm system or anything?
Well, the other thing, because of the way Comcast works, we get rid of the phone line. Well, actually, there are two phone lines. There's the one that's the emergency one for the elevator. And even though the building isn't open to the public, we still have to do that. But the price would actually go up if we got rid of the phone line.
Fair question.
Yeah, no, that's a very good question. Because the phone doesn't get used much. But it was the most economical package.
Gotcha. Alright.
So that is the total of checks. If you could do a motion to approve.
I'd like to make a motion to approve outstanding invoices as presented in the amount of $121,683.79.
Second.
And roll call vote. Trustee Anderson?
Yes.
Trustee Malinowski, yes. Trustee Bernstein?
Yes.
I have one other item on that, I have an invoice for $330 from Next Word Communications for, maintenance of the website and, the email blast system and all that kind of stuff. So actually, typically it has been $350, but we dropped it to $330 because the domain name registration was with GoDaddy, and we had some trouble with it. Nikki kept forgetting to renew it or whatever, and so she transferred it to my account. Now I'm paying it on the company credit card, so to speak.
Okay.
So it's $20 that went down, because now the $20 will be billed directly to our Visa.
Okay.
So I always have to bring this one up because, it is a sole proprietorship. I'm part owner of the company, so, now, because I'm not a trustee anymore, it's not a big deal, but I think, all things considered, I like to have the board, approve this, for payment. So, next word, communications for the administration fees for website and communication services, $330.
Well, I'll make a motion, we pay the $330 to Next World Communications.
Have a second? Roll call vote. Trustee Anderson?
Yes.
Trustee Malinowski, yes. Trustee Bernstein?
Yes.
I think that's it for me.
All right, we already covered 9, nothing new on that. 10, nothing new on that. 11, other items that may be lawfully brought before the board. Nothing new, pretty quiet in my emails. No issues popped up, no new FOIA requests, nothing like that. Just as an update to the board and the individuals here, Penske truck that's out there, does anyone have any idea what that's for? All right, I called Penske, let them know that, hey, one of your trucks is here. I don't think anyone knows about it. They called me back, this is shortly just before the meeting, I didn't know it was here. They're going to be taking care of it tomorrow. If that's not the case, I'm gonna have it towed Wednesday. I don't think it belongs here. So, no one's approached me about throwing their truck here.
So there's no bomb in it?
No, I mean, I opened the bag, it was okay.
Okay.
I probably shouldn't have, but
Yeah.
it was unlocked.
You have to be pretty desperate to bomb an empty fire station.
Yeah,
Is it empty?
it's
See
empty.
if it works.
I thought somebody was moving when I pulled up here.
Yeah, no,
Check the visor for a key.
no, what is it, the back, roll-up door was unlocked, so.
Check upstairs, there's no couches or anything up there?
Should probably check behind the generator, see if
Yeah.
I'm working. All right, but before we get totally off topic, I think that's all I got. Nothing else really new in email, nothing else really exciting, no one else has been really reaching out to me for anything new. What do you got, Jim?
I was just gonna, the next
Next
committee
word.
meeting,
Oh, yes,
right?
yes,
When is that gonna be?
a week from today,
The 17th.
17th, which is,
Monday.
yes, I know, Monday, but it's
Oh, it's President's Day.
President's Day.
No.
See, I knew it was something. President's Day, 6 p.m. All caught up?
Yes, that may be, typically that's not a problem if we have a regularly scheduled meeting for the board, if it happens to fall on a holiday. But when we're setting a special meeting, that's problematic on a holiday.
Yeah, the last one was on Martin Luther King Day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me, I'll follow up with you.
Yeah, if anything, follow up with
Okay.
Amy.
Okay. I will.
I believe Brian's gonna be there.
Yes,
So-
he's planning.
Okay. Yeah. So if there's
I'll
any
talk-
issues
yeah, I
regarding
will
having it
talk-
on a
I'll talk.
holiday,
I'll talk.
please let Amy know, and then she'll notify the members
Yeah.
of that committee.
Okay.
I have no idea. Okay,
So,
thanks, Jim.
Well, so if that ends up being an issue, should we do it just the following Monday after that? Or like on Tuesday or?
Yeah, you may have to send an email. How will we do that if we have to reschedule a special meeting? Just reschedule it,
Mhm.
as long as there's enough notice. Yeah, so you just reschedule it.
Okay.
Yeah, let the members know, post it up. What we do typically for meetings like this, so.
Okay.
Thanks, Jim. Yeah, I had no idea. Thanks for bringing that up. All right. Otherwise, if there's nothing else, I'll go ahead and make a motion to adjourn our meeting today at 6:29 p.m.
I'll second that.
And all those in favor say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed?